know Carl's found love on the street before, haven't you?
How's it going with your bird, Carl? Are you married?
No.
How long have you been out with her? Going out with her?
7 years.
Because, I mean, you're quite a simple man.
Yeah.
You're sort of a simple
in a nice way. I mean,
yeah,
you're like Helen from Big Brother.
Yeah,
you're sort of nice enough, but
I look normal.
Well, yeah, you sort of do. But you could be one of those that just suddenly go mental with a pen.
Yeah,
do you know
just
what I mean?
stab people through the eyes.
Yeah, yeah, you sort of look normal, but if I wouldn't really want to wind you up to a point of frenzy.
How did you meet your girlfriend?
Through work.
What, through her work? What, you found out and said
We worked at the same place.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're quite an enigma, aren't you? Could you give us more on that?
At work, you met her at work. What, she came in selling sandwiches? She was going through the bins outside. What do you mean you met her
Why
at
are you
work?
having an attack on me? You're the one who's sad and lonely.
No,
Oh, he's done you again! He's done you
Yeah, but what
again!
I thought was interesting was I just scratched at him and he just went mental.
Yeah, no,
It's like a
but
bear caught in a trap.
it's funny, innit? You'll never learn.
No, I was just interested to find out what the story was, because it might be a really romantic story.
Well, it's not.
Alright, jeez. I love the fact he doesn't want to talk about his love affair.
I was thinking about you in the week, and like, does it worry you? I mean, you sort of joke about it now, and we're talking about it in the office, you know, like, oh, is Steve really touchy about the way he looks? And
Oh, what's this? Where's that come from?
He's done it again. He's done you again.
I was walking home the other night, and I was thinking about it. And do you worry that when you're old, you will be on your own?
You did start it though, didn't you?
Well, Carl, I'm glad you brought this up. because I mean, for me, you know, a lightweight, frothy entertainment show on XFM on a Saturday afternoon is exactly the place where I want to discuss the desperate, lonely future that's inevitably coming my way.
Oh, God. I'll tell you what will cheer you up and forget all that. A bit of Embrace.
Oh, one of the most hated bands.
It wasn't the bookness that gave him the 50
Exactly.
million. So,
Exactly.
I reckon Mystic Meg won me 7.5 million.
Right.
Would have been a more
Right.
accurate.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, what, Carl, do you think that that's pretty spooky? And weird, unnatural stuff?
So I'm just a bit livid today. I wasn't really listening to what you were saying.
Not paying attention?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Do you want to notify us before, you know, we ask you questions?
You are giving to us. Go on.
It would have just been nice if you would have, like, warned me you were going to ask me about it. I'm just a bit livid.
Go on, what about?
Just
Have I done
want to
something?
talk about it. No, not you two. Just a bit livid.
XFM 104.9.
That's madness.
Yeah. In fact, you're right, because Johnny bought this comic, right? He loves Doctor Who, and he bought this comic, and Steve, he left it there, and Steve got a post-it note on every page wrote geek.
Yeah.
Johnny gets it home, reads it on the tube, and there's geek written everywhere on every page. That's the sort of vicious man Steve is. He can hand it out. Do you know what I mean? Imagine him calling you a geek. What must that feel like to be called a geek by Steve Merchant? What do you think, Carl?
Every week he has a go at me anyway.
What are you talking about, a go at you? You're having a go at me every week.
For the last 3 weeks,
What?
you've been having a go at me.
I have not had a go. You've always had a go at me.
You've always said to me, what do I look like? And what do you expect me to do, lie?
Oh, he's done you again, Steve!
No, I'm not
He's
getting into this.
done
'cause
you
a young
again.
lad called up before and said, oh, have a go at Steve again, these looks. And it's not like a game. I'm not like coming in here every week and wanting to make you look, you know, come across as an ugly bloke. I don't need to do that.
He's done you up.
I can't. It's
He's
like,
done you
Is this
up.
because of the Gaylord stuff?
No, it's
That you're
just,
having a go at me again?
Oh.
it's just that you had a go at me before.
I didn't have a
just
go
had
at you at all. I was talking to Ricky. I haven't had a word. I haven't spoken a word
It's
to
in
you.
your eyes.
Is this why you're in an ugly mood? A bad mood? A generally grim mood? Is it because, like, you just think I'm going to have a go at you?
I don't know what it is. When I get here, you're alright. And then as soon as you come in here, you change.
I haven't done anything. What are you talking about? You're paranoid. I haven't said anything, mate. I've drawn a
keeping
little
at it.
picture of you here, but I've
I'll
not
tell you
said
what,
anything.
what we need now is a song for the lovers. I
Oh,
want to tell
Rick,
you now,
please.
this has been one of my favourite songs for about 20 years. It's by David Bowie. Now, David Bowie's had his phases, and I liked his glam stuff, and Tin Machine went off, and you know, he's always sort of there, on and off, right? But this song is off Space Oddity, and it's called Letter to Hermione, and I don't know why he stopped writing songs like this, because this is probably one of the most beautiful songs ever recorded, and I know Steve agrees with me on this.
I do indeed. Rick, can I just kiss and make up with Carl?
No, that is...
No, let me just kiss my kiss.
Yeah, but it doesn't next week it'll be the same again. It doesn't mean anything. It's like
let's
saying
kiss on the
sorry.
lips. Kiss on the lips.
Go on, look, he's... Look,
Get off
I've never... Carl has gone
use tongue.
a absolute shade of purple, straining not to have Merchants...
There's no point, Steve.
No.
There's no point.
No, just shake.
madness is largely I'll do some funny voices.
You couldn't have howling slightly off the wall Murdoch,
No.
though, could you? It didn't have the edge.
But it's rubbish. It's rubbish madness.
Or
It's-
howling wacky Murdoch.
yeah, well, that's what he is. He's wacky.
Howling annoying student Murdoch, I think it should have been
Yeah,
called.
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
the winners, Carl. I think you took some answers.
Tim and Neil.
Well done, Tim and Neil. Are they going together or are they
No.
No, two separate.
lucky people? Lucky people.
Yeah. I don't think your heart's in it anymore either, Carl.
I was alright today, but Steve's really dragged me down.
Well, let's.
Wait a minute, I just need to know why.
No, do you know, like,
Yeah.
when people are being miserable around you?
Yeah.
I was full
Yeah.
of beans when I came in.
Yep.
Yeah, but you got to remember last week you were really miserable and that really wound me up.
Yeah, because he was having
So
to
it's
do
swings and
stuff
roundabouts.
because he'd been let down and they were worried about
Yeah,
the
last
next
week you were
show.
in a terrible mood.
Yeah.
Look at me like you
the
were.
songs, I wasn't like going off and lying on the settee looking ill, talking in that voice.
Oh, he's done you again.
I said just now, being quite friendly. Yeah,
Carl,
Steve.
Carl, have you ever tried to get into the Monarch for free? Because I'll be honest, mate, it's not going to happen for you. Come out with me, mate. You got a quid off. All right.
Oh.
When you can get in places in Camden for free.
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's done you. Right, now it's time for Song for the Lovers. Now, film.
We were talking earlier about stuff.
True story
that's,
about a little Australian freed the Scottish.
the stuff that's dying out that I think you and I single-handedly need to kind of resurrect and salvage. I thought the Trilby was dying out.
Yeah?
I'll surprise you, and yet, watching Top of the Pops last night,
Yeah.
Jamiroquai was wearing one, and then lo and behold, Danny Minogue came on, she had one as well. I thought, blimey, those two people, they're trying to salvage the Trilby, and good luck to
Really?
them.
Well,
Yeah.
that's on its way then. Let them
The
do
Trilby's
that.
fine.
Let's do something else.
But the bowler hat,
the bowler hat.
never
See,
see
I
the
always
bowler.
fancy myself in a
I
bowler
love
hat.
a bowler hat. Carl, would you wear a bowler hat? I know you'd wear a cape.
I did wear a trilby.
You were really? You must have looked like a...
That's brilliant. What, because you're a Mancunian?
Well, there was a phase, wasn't there, in about 90... When was it?
I think that was just round your way.
It might have been. It was in Manchester.
Did someone get a
Hang
job
on.
lot of trilbies? And persuaded you kids? Yeah, I tell what's trendy. No, Sean Ryder wears one of these. Does he? Yeah, go on. Yeah, quid. And then everyone in your street had trilbies on.
But you've never worn a bowler.
Never.
What about Kangol bowler? You might
He
think
had one
about it.
out again.
I'll tell you what. I would like to wear a bowler hat and a dark hat, but I'm worried I look like one of those little fellas off the Home Pride advert.
The Home Pride guys, they've been persevering with the bowler for years.
They still look good in it though,
They're
don't
still
they?
looking good. They're dapper guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the Jolly Green Giant. He had quite a distinctive look, which is obviously one I've been thinking of exploiting.
What the
Being
little
like 6'7".
I know the little sort of like a little dress.
Was it Corncroft? Corncroft
Yeah.
that made up his little skirt.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
the Jolly Green Giant so jolly about? He was
Probably.
very pleased. It can't have just been the sweet corn and the peas.
No, I reckon it was his enormous jolly green knob. I mean, he must have got up every day and gone, look at that. Ho, ho, ho. He must have been so happy.
The only thing that's like, in the case of the Jolly Green Giant, or like when Gulliver was a giant and he was in Lilliput and all the Lilliputians, like
Yeah.
they helped him out, they were feeding him and stuff.
Yeah.
If you're a giant like that in that
Yeah.
situation, how do you sort of have a little sneaky
Tug?
You know, a little tug, a little J. Arthur Rank.
I don't know, because it's like...
It's very tricky to
'cause
do
you're
that
as big
secretly.
as their mountains, aren't you?
Exactly.
You can't hide. They go, oh, you know, I mean, there's no...
Well, yeah. All the little village probably just thought it was a tidal wave or something. Do you know what I mean?
That's pretty grim, though. I
Yeah.
mean, Tidal Wave's pretty desperate.
I know.
It's how would he have gone to the mayor and said, I need a Kleenex the size of a
yeah.
tennis court
Yeah.
and a gigantic copy of the Daily Star.
No,
Yeah.
I never understood with giants how they actually got that big in the first place, because what food was around to make them... Because not only were they, like, big, but they were mostly big.
They did.
They ate well.
They ate whole cows, probably.
When,
Yeah, man,
Carl,
it's-
you know,
it's
you
It's
know,
not well documented, Carl, is
you know,
it?
you know they don't actually exist and never have.
Mm.
Okay.
Right, it's time for a feature, I think.
Oh, Carl, I've got. So there was a TV show I watched once on the History Channel. This is the History Channel.
Yeah.
It was the history of werewolves. Right, the history of werewolves, and the whole show is predicated on the fact that at the end we'll tell you if they ever existed or not.
Yeah. Just waiting. And I go, oh, come on, we're going to be late. Hold on, he's going to tell us if they
Exactly.
existed or not.
Carl, werewolves?
Michael Aspel was in it, and Michael Aspel is a top broadcaster and therefore would not associate himself with
can have
something
that
that did not
line.
exist.
Under the covers time, gents.
Under the
Cover
covers,
me
run
up,
for
cover me
cover.
bad, run for cover. Here come the cover. But it's those people who he's just desperate for the credibility that he's never going to have.
I like it when he went round last year going, they're not playing my record, they're not playing my record, they're not playing... Oh, go on, play it. Number one.
Yeah.
Ha, fooled you.
It was #1, the
Yeah.
Millennium Prayer.
I know, yeah. Well, it was, you know, it was the millennium, wasn't it?
It was, but I don't know who's buying it. I mean, I know, but you seem to claim it's some kind of like 60-year-old women, but they're not.
Yeah, it
are they
is, yeah.
really a commercial force now?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carl seems to know that.
Well, like when you're born, you're a little baby, wrinkly and stuff. When you get older, you sort of morph into a baby again, and you go through the same phases. So when you're young, you buy singles. You get old, you got nothing to do all day. You got all your pension money. What will I buy? Cliff Richard's on the telly. Here's my video. Buy me song.
You see, that started off as quite a sensible point, because I actually think I do it. But what was all that alien stuff about when you're born, you go wrinkly and you go wrinkly again? So sometimes you mix like normal things that human beings say with I don't know what.
Well, look, when you're a baby, you've got a little bald head, no teeth. You get old. What happens?
Are you a philosopher? Are you an official philosopher? Because, I mean, it sounds like it. Oh, Carl, play a record. You're a gem.
We're nearly through.
We are indeed.
We've had a little bit of chat. We've had a few laughs. We've had a few tears.
We have indeed.
We've
Yeah.
we've introduced a new feature.
Looking forward to that next week.
Yeah. So soon it's just going to be wall-to-wall features, isn't it? It's going to be
Well, I had
be
an idea for a
amazing.
feature which you didn't seem to like, which
What?
was something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
You want to explain it? And
Yeah, something old, an old song. Something
Yeah.
new, a new song.
Yeah.
Something borrowed, a cover version.
Yeah.
And something blue, just a melancholy and beautiful song.
Right. Okay. But does it have to be all four, or can it be anyone?
No, it's all four. You can play that over the course of the show. Or maybe just have
Oh.
a set 4 songs in a row, and that's that section.
So like a feature would be like this is either an old song or like a new song.
Yeah.
That's good. I think we've done that a few times.
No, it's not. It's
We've
not
covered
though.
that.
Well, what's the difference? I'm playing a song from a film. Just because you give it a title, it's just a song from a film. You could play that anyway, couldn't you?
Brilliant.
It's all
You've-
nonsense.
You've seen. Cheers, Carl.
What was
Brilliant.
that?
Yeah. My ideas are good, aren't they? Because they're not only sort of accessible, but there's a little bit of depth there.
I think it's fair enough to let him have his little feature at the end of the show, though. Just, you know what I mean? Keep him happy. The song for the
Cool.
lovers. Coming up in a bit.
Excellent. Well, but that's not till after song 2 by Blur.
I remember the days when Carl didn't even want to be on the air. I remember the days when he was told by the establishment that he wasn't allowed to talk on the air. And now it's like as far as he's concerned, he's a third member of the team,
He's protected by
Yeah.
me.
right?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
No, I would. Based on that.
That's all the features we've got, isn't it?
That's all the stuff we lined up. We were probably gonna, I don't know, probably rabbit on about other stuff.
Yeah.
Carl, unless I'm very much mistaken, we've got something to give away. Is that right? The K-Man's with us, of course, pressing the button.
Yeah.
KP.
You all right, mate?
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pilkington.
We have-
Hold on, so I'll just say there's nothing funny about that name. Just straight,
It's
no, straight
nothing.
away, seriously.
Let's just clear that up straight away.
You know,
the idea that people are laughing.
So in school, they'd go through the register, Anderson, they'd go through well, Camfield, Sturgis. Well, no, it wouldn't go to Sturgis yet, would it?
Oh, she wouldn't be there, would she?
Well, no, P's before S, isn't it?
She just wouldn't be at school.
She's out
Too busy in rehab.
Pilkington. Okay, settle down. There's nothing funny about Pilkington.
What's up with it?
It's Pilkington. Pilkington.
Yeah,
Sounds a bit like Plonker.
yeah, or Pilchard.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got tickets for
I don't think anyone's ever mocked the name before. I think we're the first ones to do it.
Oh, we're brilliant, we are.
I don't think people
Yeah,
up north figured that out, that it was a funny name.
Well, it probably isn't up there, is it? Because they've all got names
all
like,
called that, aren't
like
they?
Ramsbottom,
Yeah.
Wilkinson, Pilkington.
Piddle Trent Hyde. Oscar Piddle Trent Hyde, what are you doing? You're late.
Anyway, Gervais.
Well, all right. Okay.
No, that's an exotic name.
It's a
Don't
bit
have go at
French,
it.
it's a bit
He pays your
French.
wages. Blimey, here he comes, having a go at the star of the show.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah. Do you want to play a record and get back to it? We got tickets to give away. That's what we're saying.
Carl, what's the tickets? People want to know what the tickets are.
After this record.
Clever.
Shinobi versus Dragon Ninja. That's what I like about sort of rock and roll. It just, sings, tells a story about everyday things
Yeah.
you know about. You know.
Shinobi versus Dragon Ninja.
Yeah, the old
Was there any
experience.
reference to Shinobi or the Dragon Ninja in the song?
I wasn't listening.
I wasn't really paying attention, but I'm assuming that some of that screaming was about Shinobi and the Dragon. I don't know who won. If anyone knows who won out of the Shinobi and the Dragon Ninja.
Or maybe it's like a trilogy. Maybe they sort of get together in one. Then the second single, there's the fight,
Right,
like
sure.
the mid thing in the film. Because I don't know about film structure because I do a film review.
Yeah, sure.
And then the final one is the
The two of them
outflow.
pairing up against maybe a larger villain. A Godzilla type. maybe.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Okay, well no, they do. Lost Prophets. Well, unless they
Listening.
haven't written it yet.
Are the Lost Prophets English? Are they British? What's the deal? Who are the
Pilkington.
prophets?
Pilks.
Who's the profs?
Pilky.
Yeah, I think they are, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the answer? What was that? Are they English or American?
I'd say they're American.
Just have a guess? Why didn't you just say I don't know? Still trying to fool us. KP again trying to deceive us. KP, you were going to tell us, Pilky, you were going to tell us, Pilchard, you were going to tell us what?
What tickets are away?
But it worked for me, you see, because when I was younger, I
Yeah.
had a mobile disco.
Brilliant, so did I.
And it was me and my mate Colin Makin. And the disco was called Pilky's Making Music.
That's brilliant. I mean, genuinely brilliant. Pilk is making music.
Guess what? When I first started the mobile disco, this was when I was about 14. We didn't really go out touring. We just would do it for like people's parties and stuff. We were called the rock and roll DJs.
No, really.
We drew it on some sort of see-through paper and put a light behind it. Rock and roll DJs.
My first disco, I had 2 nights a week in this pub.
What, you ran a disco?
Yeah, this pub near King's Cross, right? And it was just their records, right? And I had to play this number of songs every time, the same time of week. So all the locals, all drunk, were dancing and everything. One of them was American Pie by Don McLean,
right?
And they just sing along all the words, sort of drunk.
It's about 7 minutes long or something.
Yeah. The other one was Baby Jane by Rod Stewart.
Nice.
If I didn't play that, I'd get lynched. And what was the other one? There was another one that I always had to play. It was a ballad. I have to remember that. But yeah. But
so, Carl, do you think, and maybe Ricky as well, do you think you know much about DJing for, like, you know, the sort of, the wedding party, or maybe someone's 18th? Oh, really? Okay, let me just offer a little hypothesis for you then. Alright, the buffet's been served, right?
Yeah.
People have done some speeches, like it's a wedding do.
Yeah.
So you've already played some records early on, you've stopped for food,
yeah.
You've just played some light backing music in the background while the food's been served. You want to get the party rocking again, what do you kick off with?
It depends. It depends. I've already got it down to 2 or 3 records.
Okay, I'd like to hear what they are.
Well, I've got it down to, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Right.
That'd be great, you know, if there's, you know, depending on, or, you wanna go a bit modern, I'd probably start off with sort of Will Smith.
Well, careful, Rick, I've got to bear in mind, it is a wedding do, so there's people from age 8 to 80. You got to cater to every market.
Okay.
Carl, what about you?
See, this was back in '88, so
yeah.
Kylie.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what the definitive track is?
Go on.
Oh, What a Night, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Ding, ding, ding. People don't realise what it is exactly. It's straight away. Ding, ding, ding. Bow, down, 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 down. I can't actually play it. But, oh, what a night. Late December back in 60s. That leads you straight into a 70s medley, and everyone's loving that. I'm thinking Bee Gees. There's going to probably be some kind of ABBA track, Dancing Queen, all going to storm. Well, you're turning your noses up. I can tell you this, that we got bookings endless. People are going, you're amazing. I don't know how you do it.
I wouldn't have got up. I would have sat there.
Well, you might be, because you're one of those grouchy, you're one of those moody teenagers. Oh, I'm not going to dance to this. I'll tell you, the old ladies would have been up. The people with a decent bit of musical taste would be up.
No, the first person to get up is a fat lady in a dress with bad ankles and a little kid who's got problems and he's in a little DJ.
See, the problem with you two is you're not catering to the market. You're trying to be all sort of bohemian and kind of off, you know, teach people about music and stuff. There's no place for Kylie, not at a mobile disco. Far too avant-garde. Alright, kick it in. Grease Megamix.
Play a record.
Come on, Eileen. Have you got Come on, Eileen? Play that.
What are you gonna play?
Love Shack.
Coldplay.
Excellent. Yellow.
Well, you never
It's
played
the
it.
excellent single by Coldplay. It's Yellow. Oh, Yellow. That's Yellow by Coldplay. That was the Sleeping with All His Patients. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, bless him. Oh, no. I killed a fish once.
Go on.
Well, I made a little bow and arrow. I was about, 8 or 9, and I made a bow and arrow. And, you know, you never think, we had a pond, and there was a huge fish in it, about, 8 inches long, a huge big sort of like golden orph or something, or a carp or something. And, I was sort of playing, and I aimed, and I shot it, and it went straight through it and floated to the top, and I thought, oh my God.
You pierced a fish with an arrow? That's an amazing shot.
Well, it was luck. It was pure luck. I
You're
never
Native
thought I'd do it.
American.
Yeah. You know those little things outside, in the front garden by the front gate? The little, sort of 4 inches by 4 inches bit of metal, you lift it up, and it's not like where the drains are, if the plumbers need to get there, or the council or everything like that.
Right.
I dropped it down there, and I thought, oh my God, what if that's discovered? What if I have to drain? So I ran loads and loads of journeys in and out of my house, right, to the toilet and back, just taking out, handfuls of Vim and pouring bleach down, thinking that I can get rid of this fish before the council dig it up in 10 years' time and go, send him to jail.
Yes.
Fish aside.
But what do you think they would have done? They'd have taken the dead fish, they've gone to each of the doors going, is this your fish?
Yeah, but I was 8. You don't think...
Do you recognise either the arrow or the fish?
You mean, yes, it's arrow straight through it. But, you don't think when you're 8 that it'd be okay. If I can ride this out till I'm 20,
yeah.
The statute of limitations on goldfish murder, it is about, I can't work it out, 12 years.
Wow.
So that was...
a killer.
Yeah.
Carl, anything embarrassing ever happened to you ever?
With what? With animals and stuff?
Could be animals.
I like animals, to be honest.
So do I. It was a mistake.
No, you don't. I thought you were feeling bad about the fish.
Yeah.
But really, you were more worried about you being locked up.
Well, I felt bad. There was both the law and the moral side of fish death. I mean, we kill fish all the time, just not usually with a bow and arrow in a back garden in Whitley. Often the supermarket can lend a hand with that.
I used to sell mackerel.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a pet magpie.
Did you?
Called Maggie.
Oh, you pet
Inventive.
magpie. You mean you captured it and didn't let it go away?
Yeah.
Can't have a pet magpie.
But then it got really vicious. I mean,
Well, it was trying to let me go. What do you keep it in a rabbit hutch?
no, it flew around, but it used to just like come to me all the time. But then it started pecking my head and stuff.
That's not a pet magpie. That's a bird in the garden.
No, but I could actually, I could hold it and stuff. It wasn't scared of me, and it knew it was me. It used to come down from like the top.
It hated you. That's why it wanted to peck you. Is that?
And the other thing, I always remember being younger and like walking through the woods to school with my mum, and like I was chasing a butterfly, and she said, "Oh, don't do that, Carl." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because they only live a day." I said, "Oh, all right, I'll get a dead one in the morning."
That's genius.
That's great. That's quick thinking, isn't it?
I don't know what you just
Wow.
about.
We've not. Even Jonathan Ross couldn't save this show.
No.
It is the only A celebrity I know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
all
it.
out of ideas. I thought we'd have a trivia game. That's rubbish because he can't read.
All right.
Yeah, and that's what is it?
So are we knocking the trivia game on the
Yeah, yeah.
Should we, let's have one final question.
what
What's the answer?
What
I
about the
don't
answer?
know. I don't know.
For the Pope one.
I don't know.
We couldn't even figure out the question, Carl.
What's the stone? What's the stone?
Hang on a minute.
Just entertain yourselves at home while Carl looks for the question.
And thirst.
Amethyst.
Amethyst.
Yeah.
Anne Thirst. No, she was the first woman MP, I think you'll find. Amthirst. Ruby or Diamondo?
So have you got maybe a final question?
That's still
Carl,
one on it.
that
Okay,
can
do a
decide- just one on
decider
it?
and then we knock this on the head.
Yeah.
Go on then.
What?
Who?
Have you not been practicing in all these? We've had ads, we've had music.
Oh, where? What?
Rick, I don't think we should call ITV later. this.
Maybe he was talking about Jonathan's inquiry about sartorial elegance tonight. Where
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
Maybe he's just like summed up that
Yeah.
conversation in
What's
just
the
two.
most expensive pub in London? Ricky won't know because he never pays.
Hang on, wait a minute. What does that mean?
What does that mean? What mean to buy? I'll buy the pub. How much is that? It's £1 million,
No, like,
sir.
if you go in, according to the Time Out Guide 2001, if you went in there and bought a big round, it's a day pub.
It's an expensive pub.
Imagine this on Millionaire. Imagine that question
Why
on
is it- it's not
Mastermind.
too vague.
I know your specialised subject, how much things are and that, and whether they make you fat when you eat them. Then
It's in London.
Is this like some guy went in the pub last night and thought, this is a bit pricey? This is the most expensive pub I've ever been in.
I'm going to expose them
Exactly.
on Ricky and Steve's show.
But does it mean like, maybe is it a pub or a club, maybe, where you've got to be a member?
No, it's a pub. I'll narrow it down. It's in Covent Garden.
Punch and Judy.
That's it.
Has he got it right?
Yeah.
Well,
2-1.
I have to hand it to you. Well done.
Yeah,
So.
brilliant.
So who was that question from? Because maybe they should get these 3 CDs.
Let's give them that.
Who is it, Carl?
There's no way of verifying that. That's probably libelous. They've probably
It's from
made.
the Time Out Guide.
Okay. All right.
Carl, who
What are
was
you
it?
moaning for? You got it right.
Yeah, I won. Yeah. I won.
Carl, who was it that won? Well, listen, they know, so they've won.
Yeah. Right.
This is genius radio. This is
I
brilliant.
tell you
We're
what's
slick.
letting us down? Him.
I know.
KP the P-Man. When he was just doing the press buttons and it was cool. Now we let him on the air because we thought it was funny. We quite like him. He's digging a grave for us. Right, listen, this is a new feature I've introduced called Songs I'd Like to Play on the radio. and
Oh, this is falling apart.
and a friend of mine sent me a little CD of little treats and stuff. And
Oh.
one of them is this track. It's called Monkey Man. It's from the Rolling Stones. Play it, Carl. It's an absolute gem. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's annoying actually that Carl never went to the email because the questions have been sent in there.
Are they good?
Questions, and they've all been sort of neatly spat out with the correct answer. For instance, I might have asked you this if I was the quizmaster,
Go on.
Rick. How many noses do slugs have?
Oh, I think
is an
it's 4.
interesting It is 4.
Yeah.
Point to you there. Let me just see if I can find another one. Who, according to the current issue of Viz, is a cycloptic pop temptress?
Oh, don't know. Is it a pun on her having one eye and sounding like?
Cycloptic is the clue. There's
Yeah.
only one pop temptress.
Oh, it's Gabrielle.
Of course.
Yeah.
2 points.
Mine are better. He didn't get them. These are rubbish.
Have you ever watched a quiz
Because
show?
I can understand the question. They're rubbish, I suppose, aren't they? That gives me a chance to know what the answer is required. Go on.
Let me see if I can find another one for you. No, you're never gonna get that one. That's too hard.
Oh no, that just.
That just teases you more,
Yeah.
doesn't it? What's the name of? Well, that's boring. That one. Sorry,
there you
it's
go.
beginning to fall apart again now. Here we are. What's the proper name for Big Ben?
Is it St Stephen's Tower?
You know, it absolutely is. That's 3 out of 3. That's fantastic.
Yeah, because the bell, named after something like Benjamin so-and-so works in it at St Stephen's Tower, and that's the big bell.
It's actually, in a weird way, I didn't know any of those. So it's actually quite good that we did kind of balls it up with Carl, because otherwise there'd have been egg on my face.
Yeah, but I still won. I just won less.
Oh, did you? Yeah, you did win.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten. I already wiped that out of my memory.
Yeah, I knew, but hey, Steve, it's not me that's the real winner. It's Neil who asked that question
About pubs.
and he's got those 3 CDs. Just tell him what they are again. Just
Feeder, Echo Park, a compilation called Reloaded 3, lots of great stuff on there, and the Essential Bob Dylan 2 CD.
Have you called him and told him?
No, not yet.
This is such a shambles, isn't it? Because what if he goes out or something?
Actually, if he's listening, can he give us a call?
That is so lazy.
Can't we call him like Tarrant would?
I would have
That's
had his
surprising.
number.
You've not got his number?
I forgot.
Oh, this is
I
unbelievable.
said get the numbers, Carl!
I wanted to go for the Pope one.
Carl, do you actually work here in the week? Or, like, did you just, you know, like in a film when they knock someone on the head, put on the spacesuit and go to the moon?
Is it like, is it like Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox? You actually work in the post room, but Saturdays there's no one around that recognises you.
So you pretend that you're a producer?
Yeah.
Because you don't seem to know any of the rules.
Because I reckon that name's made up.
When did I say a producer? When did I say I was?
Carl
one?
Pinkerton is a name that you'd come up with on the spot.
No, he doesn't work. No, he's not a producer. He says he works in sound.
He works
That's what
in
he says.
sound.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Work with this. This is my song for the lovers. It's a beautiful track. I've played it before. I'll play it again. It's one of my favourite tracks of all time. It's Bob Dylan. If You See Her, Say Hello. Here's a little bit of trivia for her. This is the last song I ever played on the old XFM before
Wow.
they came in and said, "Okay, you can go now."
That's incredible.
And it
Bringing tears to my eyes.
lovely. Happy Monday. Took you back, didn't it? Happy Mondays there, Manxie. Now Carl's like really getting down. Oh yeah. Oh come on.
Got
Come
any
on.
Vera's?
Oh come on, Mel. Did it take you back, did it?
Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
29. So you were just going into out of your teens.
I'm a Virgo.
No.
What?
No. No. You don't understand. It's just. I'm
Rick,
a
I
Virgo.
thought we discussed about involving Carl.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Management have told us we're just not allowed to do it.
We've had emails from
Yeah.
people.
Please don't speak to Carl.
It's cruel.
Exactly.
On the cusp.
Can I just make an appeal? I don't want to.
On the cusp, the Virgo, he said. Still going through with it. Doesn't know what's going on, does he? Just wave bright objects at him.
Yeah.
And we've got a competition with Steve.
We have, but
Want to be yeah, he's embarrassed himself,
He's
isn't he?
embarrassed himself.
When we do quizzes, we never get anything wrong.
That's true enough.
During that track, I'm chilling out, I'm loving it, aren't I? Carl goes, do you know how baguettes came about?
Do you know how baguettes come about?
I went, go on, and Steve went, no, save it.
Wait a minute though, I'm thinking, Rick, people are going to be desperate to know the answer to that. Why don't we play some ads and some music and stuff?
It's like a cliffhanger.
Exactly. How did baguettes come about?
Whatever he says is going to be good, isn't
Stay
it?
tuned to XFM to find out.
Hives, hate to say I told you so. So I love that sort of stuff. That and the Strokes. Well, it's so much better than all this new metal rubbish, isn't it?
Definitely.
Now, most people think we talk rubbish on air.
Yep.
If they could hear the conversations
Off
that
air.
go on, I know, but someone just emailed in saying the sun is indeed about 400 times bigger than the moon. Thanks for that. That DJ must have looked it up and said 400 times. That can't be right. It's probably it's probably a printing error. 4 times. Nothing can be 400 times bigger than the moon. Carl went, yeah, but the sun's only got 1 million years, isn't it? I went, what? He went, on that space program, it said that in 1 million years the sun will be destroyed, and he said, and then we're all shafted. Right? I went, I laughed. Steve went, no, it's okay. By then we'll be on another planet.
No, I think that's
Yeah.
true. We'll have colonised
Right?
other planets.
Carl went, yeah, but there'd be no sun. Steve went, well, there's other suns, which is true. Carl went, well, I went, well, yeah, every star is a sun. Carl went, well, not really. Not really. Don't believe that, do you? And I went, no, it is. The sun is just a star. It's not even a particularly big star. Carl went, well, why didn't they say that instead of worrying me? Instead of worrying me.
In 1 million years' time.
Yeah.
I love the idea of Carl. He's been preserved, brought back to life, and is now the ruler of the world.
Just a head in
Yeah.
a fish tank. And he speaks like this. I am Pilkington.
the reason you became king of the universe, of course, is because of your fascinating French bread anecdote.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What
Come
was
on
the
then.
story?
What? How did baguettes come about? If this is going to be someone cooked a loaf a bit wrong and said I can still make a sandwich out of it, I'm going to hit you.
that it?
No.
Go on then.
Right. Napoleon, when he was at war and that with Russia,
1812, yeah.
yeah, all his soldiers were like, you know, not used to the cold weather and that. So they said, take some clothes in your bag with you because it's going to be
Chilly.
nippy out there. So they put all the clothes in the bag.
Sure.
Do they were told.
Thought, oh,
It's Napoleon, for Christ's sake.
No room for any food.
No room for
You're
any
joking.
So
Couldn't they make some sort of like sandwich?
no, it wouldn't fit because of all the clothes. You had to take extra gear.
Sure.
For them. So anyway, he
I
said,
can see where
know.
this is going. I'll be honest.
Is there a baguette-shaped gap left in their holdall?
They thought, let's make some bread that you can fit down your trouser leg.
What?
That's not true! No, it's not,
I
Carl!
read it in Euston train station. I was waiting to go back to Manchester.
Where did you read
What,
these? It was-
scrawled on the wall in graffiti?
Yeah.
Do you know the
Was
upper-
it also meet me here for cock fun at 12 o'clock?
The upper crust sandwich shop, Euston station. It's on the wall.
What do you mean it's on the wall?
Do you know how it says like sale on at Dixon's, whatever?
Yeah.
Next to that, there was like a bit of information. Once you've read the stuff on Dixon's,
Baguette information.
there was a big thing about the history of the baguette. I read it and I thought, oh,
No, we got to make a sandwich we can spit down our trouser leg.
But how can you march and fight with a huge piece of bread down your train?
Although it would be intimidating. You see them coming, you go, sacre bleu, look at the size of them. They're big fellas. Well,
Blimey. I can't help but feel that could be a practical joke at your expense.
yeah.
didn't do that.
Well, the Earl of
Do you ever
Sandwich...
question anything you read? If it's
No.
printed up, is that,
Yeah.
like, fact for you then?
Well, it's not funny. I mean, if they were trying to be funny, it's like, it's not, is it? So it's information.
Have you heard us? Things sometimes want to be funny when they're not.
That's exactly what happened with the sandwich. The Earl of Sandwich wanted something he could fit down his pants. And it was those triangle cut sandwiches wrapped in cling film were perfect. You might be right. You might be right.
I am.
Because the Cornish pasty, so they could drop it down the mines, isn't it?
Is
They,
it?
yeah, they wrapped it up they wrapped up like meat and vegetables in pastry, and they sort of crimped it, and it was like a little, and they dropped it down the mine, so, yeah, that's how that came about.
And bagels were originally made so that people could play hoopla, but then eat afterwards. I don't know if you're aware of that. That is true, Carl.
Well, anyway,
Call my bluff. Is
Yeah.
one of them true?
yeah.
They're all
well,
true.
They're all true.
Yeah.
Tell your
Well,
kids that when you have them.
Yeah.
You know, if they're still alive in a million years.
Well, it might be true. Can someone confirm, that baguette fact, that it was so Napoleon could stick it down
Not
his
him.
trousers? Not him, his
men.
soldiers.
His men.
Yeah.
Fascinating information. Fascinating bread information, Carl.
Radiohead.
Yeah, now this is my song for the lovers. It's a beautiful track. It's Let Down, off OK Computer. It's one of my favourite Radiohead tracks. It's lovely. Right, set the tape going now, if you want to tape, you know, these songs. Avalanches, Frontier Psychiatrist.
Absolutely.
Well, we've had lots of emails. People, obviously, we inflamed and provoked
Well,
about
actually, I have
the
to say,
the
Rick-
Cornish pasty. I've got a couple of amendments to that. The crusty bit, you know, is actually as a handle, because obviously the miners had dirty hands, and they'd eat all the stuff in the pasty, and they'd be left with this sort of crust, and they could throw that away.
Mm-hmm.
Also, someone told us that at one end was a like apple, so you have a little sweet as well.
Little dessert.
So there you go.
You noticed how, like, over the years we've been doing this, you know, way back when we started XFM, no one ever contributes when we ask about the music, when
No.
we ask about hip-hop,
No.
or their, you know, opinions on that,
No.
anything important.
No.
But start talking about pasties,
Yeah.
we've had about 5 phone calls.
Yeah, and someone phoned up to confirm. They used to work for Upper Crust, and basically Carl got all excited. So it is true. She went, well, I don't know if it's true. I've read the same sign you
Yeah.
did, Carl.
Interestingly, there's an email here that says, which basically offers a history of the baguette,
Yeah.
and talks about after the revolution, the government decreed that all of France must eat the same bread, and it was up to the bakers to bake this bread of equality. And then Napoleon kind of made sure it was a particular. He kind of set in.
Yeah, obviously on the bread you can eat anything you find in the garden: frogs, snails, bits of horse,
But
squid.
the interesting thing is, Rick, that there's no mention of sticking it down your trousers whilst going to war.
The French have tried to keep that secret for over 100
It
years,
was only the
Steve.
upper crust people. that
Yeah,
managed to,
yeah, nearly
get
200 years, that is a top secret. Somehow Euston Station upper crust got hold of a document, left behind in an old sea chest, possibly Napoleon's, could have been Josephine's. Unfortunately, jotted it down. He's kicking himself now. Oh, Secretary, I cannot believe I left a note. If he talked like that.
He did.
He did that, yeah, he talked English, but in a very funny French accent.
Do you remember, there was one thing that, talking about funny French accents, you remember Allo Allo?
Yeah.
Remember, it was on about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but they still meant, because it was a funny Frenchman, it was that English guy who was posing as a French police officer.
It's very complicated
He would
plot.
often walk by, and I remember there was one where he said, I was pissing by the door when I heard a shit.
Oh yeah.
Now, that's
passing
I'm allowed
by
to
the
say that.
door.
I'm allowed to say
Passing
that.
by the door when I heard a shot.
That's what he's saying. I'm
Yeah.
allowed to say that at 2 o'clock because I'm just saying I'm talking in a French accent.
Yeah.
I was pissing by the door when I heard a shit.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking French, Carl.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the rule.
Do you know why people tink the glasses before they have a drink?
Why they tink? The verb to tink.
I do know that, Carl. Is it about poison?
It is.
Here we are.
What would it make a different noise?
Nope.
Brilliant. Go on, explain
Why?
it.
You
Carl.
explain it, Steve.
No, don't Steve. You explain it, Carl. Come on.
Oh,
I've
you-
started, so I'll finish. Come on, Carl. Explain why they tink the glasses.
Ages ago,
Yeah.
only people with money had drinking or something.
That's like one of my film reviews. Years ago. Welcome to History Now. Now, ages ago, only people with money had drinking or something.
Keep going, Carl.
Keep going.
Like spirit and stuff. So they'd it's like businessmen with money.
It's easy for you to say. This is getting to be cruel, isn't it?
This is amazing.
Yeah, go on.
Why
Go
did
on.
you open your mouth, Carl? What were you hoping was the best that could happen?
Because you tried to make me look stupid before with the planet, so
Whereas you know...
Yeah, go on, no, come on. Businessmen with money, I've got to drink and ching. Okay, so then, with all the drink...
So they'd nip round to have a chat about whatever they're earning money with, and they'd say, right, do you want a drink then? And they'd go, oh yeah, that'd be alright. So,
Yeah.
rather than like, just pouring it out of a bottle into a glass and saying, there you go, it could be going, hang on a minute, it could be poisoning me ear and trying to like, nick my business idea.
Yeah.
So what they'd do, it'd sort of pour a bit of his drink into the other person's glass and you get that tink noise, and that's like cheers, you know.
No, Carl, I just have a slight amendment there. I think what it was you're absolutely right that they would then test each other's drinks to show that it wasn't poison. But over the years, that was reduced to just chinking the glasses by way of saying let's not actually bother going through the whole rigmarole. They just did the
Yeah.
chinking of the glasses
Yeah,
as a
well,
kind of symbolic
I-
way of saying it.
Yeah, that's good.
It was exhausting though, wasn't it?
I know.
Was it worth it, do you think?
Well, I like that, because people carry that with them now. When they do that, they'll think, oh, that bloke's definitely not trying to poison me.
Yeah.
So the horrible thing is that now, when I do the glasses, I can laugh and go, they don't know I've poisoned them.
Exactly.
You should always do the pouring back and forth. It's a shortcut, it's a slippery slope. You know, just be careful. No, and landlords.
Okay.
Very handy.
Here's one for you.
Go on.
Like insect facts and stuff.
Go on.
If a man was a flea,
You could jump over St Paul's Cathedral.
no,
What?
wrong. It's gone up now. It's the big wheel. The big wheel.
The Millennium
Gone up
Wheel.
now. It's gone up now. Play a record. You're the best. Ash, there's a star on XFM 104.9. Now, Steve,
Yes.
Carl text messaged me in the week, very excited, because he just watched a programme that proved me and you were stupid. Remember we sort of championed the anti-supernatural?
Yes.
We-
Skeptical view.
We're just absolutely skeptical about things like that. We're atheists. We don't believe in ghosts, anything like that. Anything supernatural. We're followers of James Randi, a genius of our times. But Carl saw something that proved us wrong. I'd like Carl to tell you what this proof was, what he saw it on, and look at him. Go on then.
It was on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I was watching. You see, the problem is I didn't get the full story, so you could pick holes out of it.
Sure.
But I was
Unlike your usual investigations into the supernatural.
Which are
It was called, can I just tell you what the programme was called?
Mr. Exorcist.
Oh, brilliant.
So
Sounds like an academic work to me.
Yes.
the bit that I caught, I just flicked it over, sort of seeing what's on the telly, and I thought, oh, Exorcist, I've seen it, but there's nothing else, and I watch it, and then I realised it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I'll have a bit of this. And there was an old woman and a daughter, and as far as I was aware, the bit I picked up on, they were saying, oh, you know, it's dreadful, and unless you've been through it, you know, you've had ghosts in your house and that, you really don't know what it's like.
Yeah, sure.
And the main thing that seemed to be getting them down was the fact that the budgie was getting stressed.
The budgie was getting stressed.
Because animals can sense the other side,
Oh,
can't
okay.
they?
Can they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And how was that manifesting itself? You didn't know. What was the budgie doing?
I think it just wasn't happy.
Right. Did it explain that to people, or
No,
how
you
did
know,
it express that?
budgies are known for being chirpy, aren't they?
I see, and it
And
wasn't chirping.
It normally swings on its little perch and that. And
Just depressed because it was
Right.
possessed.
It was just sat around in its pajamas.
so
No, come on,
So-
Steve.
yeah,
Come
sorry.
on, Steve. You're making this a mockery. So the budgie was depressed because he could sense the ghost.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then this
Yeah.
this guy, this Mr. Exorcist, came round.
Was that his name?
Yeah,
Okay.
Was he a priest or something?
yeah, he might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I picked
Did he
up
did he
at
have
the
a
end,
did he have like a black coat with a little white collar? That's usually the.
He had his coat on, so you couldn't tell.
No, sure. Okay.
But so he came round and he sort of did his thing,
Yeah.
and then
And was
the
he trying?
next shot,
Was he trying to exorcise the budgie?
No,
the
the
ghost.
house.
Right.
The
So
house,
it
yeah.
wasn't that the budgie had a
was
demon
clearing
on
the
him.
house
No.
out.
Okay.
No, this
So-
wasn't a possession, was it? This was a straightforward. It wasn't a poltergeist or anything. It was just a.
Well,
he's-
a haunted house.
Yeah, but
Sure.
that's the thing he was saying. He was saying you can have like your ghouls and that aren't that bad, that aren't going to cause you any
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah,
But obviously the budgie, they've got weak hearts and that, haven't they? and
Sure.
I
So
don't
so
want-
he go on. So how,
so anyway, basically he sorted it out, did whatever he did, and the next shot you see is like the budgie making a noise and swinging
It's
the
happy
dice
again.
over the moon again, and the old woman was like happy because she was
she
getting
couldn't believe it.
stressed.
Yeah.
And that's
The
it.
priest didn't come in and go, well, you should feed that bird. Give it a bit of millet. It was happy. It goes, right,
No,
see you
it's-
later. No. It was a. So
Because budgies are. My mum's got a budgie, and they're fairly happy all the time, aren't they? So it's got to be something fairly odd.
Right.
you never see a budgie sitting down going, I feel like topping myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Though?
No.
Do you know
no.
you can have like a moody dog? You can see a dog when it's unhappy if it's walking
Yeah.
down the street.
You can have a moody canary, can't you? And what they do is they often tell the police what you've been doing. They're known for that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So basically,
So that for you is proof that the supernatural exists. A bird in a cage got a little bit annoyed, wasn't chirping as much as it normally did. Who knows why? There could have been a little draft up its, and
Cloaca.
exactly.
That's
Anyway,
a medical term.
Anyway, a man
just-
came in and did whatever he did.
Yeah.
and used your phrase.
Mr. Exorcist, though, Steve.
Yeah.
This wasn't any bloke off the street. This was Mr. Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And for you, that's the proof that there's.
just because like if it was a person, you go, oh, they're playing up for the camera.
yeah.
You know,
A budgie could possibly act like that, Steve.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You're saying a budgie would not be trying to. It wouldn't be trying to become famous. or
No,
just want to get
not
on the
like
telly.
not like Lassie.
No, sure.
It was
sure.
basically a show off.
Yeah, or
So-
champion the Wonder Horse.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think
I've changed my tune, Rick. I don't know about you.
I have, and I think we should play a record.
I'd love to get Mr. Exorcist in. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Never dabble with things you don't understand,
Sorry.
like women. See what I did there?
Oh, he's turned that back on me.
Blur. Boys and girls.
Girls and boys, embarrassed yourself.
Blur. Girls and boys there, Steve, on XFM 104.9. So, it's not so bad, really, because we didn't plan the thing,
No.
We've proved the supernatural. We were wrong about that.
Well, just one other question. Was there anything else in this woman's house that led her to believe that there were ghosts, or was it just the fact that Tweety or whatever his name wasn't chirping?
You see, this is the problem. I was watching UK Style. I was watching something on that.
What were you watching on that?
It was, it's not changing rooms. It's like that, but cheaper.
Quite seriously, right? You might be the most interesting man in the world. I'm fascinated by it. I'd like to follow you. I'd like to have a hidden camera on you. I can ask you any question. I'd like to have you in a cupboard in my flat. So I just think about it. I wonder what Carl thinks of that. And I'd just throw something at you, and you'd You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what my dad did. Just kept me in the cupboard.
Do you know what I mean, though? I
Yeah.
just like, I wonder what Carl would
You're
think
never
about
stuck
this.
for a conversation point if Carl's around. That's
No,
what's genius about it.
he's always got an opinion. He's got an opinion about everything.
Yeah.
It's
But I love the
fantastic.
fact he was watching UK Star without a shadow of irony.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No,
He's
that's,
just
that's,
like,
what,
cool.
no, that's what I like about him.
Exactly, that's what's
I wouldn't
brilliant.
like it if he was trying to be
No, he's not.
kitsch
Yeah.
and stuff. I like it because he's down the line, straightforward, no nonsense. This is what I like. You know what I mean? He's going to be sort of like Jeffrey Boycott, Dickie Bird when he's about like 60 or 70. He's going to get on a bus and go to the driver somewhere. You need an haircut. You look like a scruffy get. You know what I mean? He's going to be a great old bloke that you.
Genius.
He doesn't get chinned in the pub.
Yeah.
Right? People protect him. You know, because he's like 70 or something. But it's great. You're looking forward. You're actually in that nod. That nod went. I can't wait till he's 70.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Can I make a suggestion that we just get people, they can email in just questions or comments they'd like to hear from Carl. Maybe they just want to know his opinion on the Afghanistan situation.
Yeah, like
or
you know, like
last night's Coronation Street, whatever.
Yeah, like they do, in the NME or imagine that coming up to the election, they go, Billy says Labour.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think the
Carl.
Sun has White Van Man. Each
Oh,
day they
yeah.
interview a guy who drives a white van, see his opinions on various topics. Carl is very much our white man van. White
Yeah.
man van.
Yeah.
So
I think-
any query you have,
I think most of our listeners are,
any
to be honest.
opinion that you would like to hear voiced from the K-Man, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, or you can phone in. I forget what the number is.
Doesn't matter, does it?
700, 800, 1234.
Sweet.
Now, it's time for our first regular feature of the day. That film sounds good.
That film sounds good.
I stopped the film reviews because I've done all the films that are 9 or
Yep.
10 out of 10. I don't want to
Yep.
drop my standards.
Absolutely.
This is a feature where it's a soundtrack of a film where I like the single from it and might make me want to see the film, might have seen the film. Today is our first request.
Right, interesting.
This is for Martin, who wants to hear Live in the City by Stevie Wonder, and it's
Genius.
from Jungle Fever.
Let's hear it.
Well, I love the song
It's
and I
an
love the
absolute
film.
classic.
Living for the City.
Genius.
Stevie Wonder.
The man's
from
a
the
god.
film Jungle Fever.
Absolutely.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
Well, not to be confused with Living in the City, which I think is a Desiree track.
So
never
you
do
know,
that.
because you're a huge
But
Desiree fan.
we were grooving along to that. It's a great, not my favourite Stevie Wonder track. I actually, He's Mr. Know-It-All. But a great track. Stevie Wonder's just fantastic anyway. And during that, we just had heads down, we just like, just enjoying the moment. We said, turn it up, didn't we? We liked it. Carl, just halfway through, just looking at me, he's got a driving licence.
Yep.
I went, what? He went, he's got a driving licence. I went, has he? He went, yeah, just for his own land. I went, you don't need a driving licence for your own land. He went, you might be right. He said, who else is blind?
I remember hearing something. It was someone famous
Right.
who shouldn't have a driving licence,
Well,
and they have. And I'm sure
lot
it's
of people.
I'm sure it was someone who's blind. But you're right. It's a bit of an odd one.
isn't it? No, but don't forget, this hasn't just happened, this is in your head. So you can't say that and go, isn't that weird? How did that happen? It's in your head, don't forget at the moment. There is no proof
There's
of
no
this.
proof of that.
You can't say something and they go, isn't that strange? You said it.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? We didn't just see something happen out the window. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? What's in your head and what happened and all that? What are you thinking?
I'm just thinking. Who's that other fella?
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Why would he have a driving licence? He's blind as well. I think it's the blind thing we've got a problem with. It's the idea of people who are blind driving cars that's maybe made us question that. I mean, Stevie may have a driving licence. I very much doubt that he's passed his test.
No.
He probably hasn't even... I mean, he could have done the theory one, maybe. But
And
that's
it-
touchscreen.
And until Labradors actually are allowed on the Queen's Highway,
Exactly.
I don't think we'll see many blind people driving
I
cars.
might be wrong.
You might be, mightn't you? Oh, we hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you might be wrong.
Could well be
Well,
wrong.
there's a start. I fancy a bit of Ed Hardcore about now.
Well, Rick, you've embarrassed
Har-
yourself because his name's Harcourt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just play the song, Carl. Let's mop up this ugly mess. Still to come, loads of our other features, of course, including Hip Hop Hooray!
Black Rebel Motorcycle Club in Loveburns, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
My name's Steve Merchant.
Carl, what's your name?
Press the buttons.
That's it.
Carl, I press the button.
Yeah. Oh, bless him.
People are loving the K-Man, aren't they?
They are. People are saying they love him. He's just. Oh.
He is. He's
I think we've created a whole new Will McDonald.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
Carl!
Or Gordon the Gopher.
I used to have a show in Manchester.
You
Did
used to
ya?
host a show?
Yeah, overnights.
What kind of things was it? What kind of stuff?
What sort of tip were you on?
Phone-ins and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did a phone-in?
Not a proper one.
What did people phone in about?
No, they didn't. That was one problem. There was no phones. Go on.
No, just, you know, how things were going and that.
Problems. Were you like an agony uncle?
Kind of.
That's amazing. Imagine that. Imagine sending someone to Carl. You got problems? Is it delicate? We'll go to Carl Pilkington.
Hang on, looks like maybe there's some questions.
Oh, we've got
coming in.
got a few questions here. What's the one? What's Carl's view on?
Carl, what do you make of nudism?
Who's that from?
Let me just check who that's from. Hang
Sort
on.
of there's a time and a place for it.
That's from. It's very difficult to tell.
That's
on
great. You
this thing.
see,
There's a time and a place for it.
That is just brilliant. That is Dickie Bird. That's that sort of northern, confident soundbite. Wasn't it nudism? Time and a place for it.
There's a time and a place
Would you
for
do
it.
it, Steve?
Would I do nudism?
Yeah.
He's not allowed.
Not again.
No,
Yeah.
It's not nice, is it, really?
No, it's not with Steve. He's not allowed on any National Trust land doing it because he's caused the death of millions of starlings.
That's
See,
true.
there was something on BBC Choice the other night. It's a really short show. I haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
Like an odd
It's
co-op
not.
thing.
It's not a bloke eating cup of soup and then another short show like maybe someone cleaning their teeth with Colgate and then the really short show. What was it? Go on.
No, what it was about this old fella who he's into nudism, and he was saying he's done all right.
Did he
out
play
of
volleyball a lot?
it. He said he's done all right out of it because there's not many blokes who are willing to go nude for modelling and that, and he's
Yeah.
about 70, so it's not.
Is there much
Nice.
cry for that? Do you think? Is there much demand for a
He's doing
70-year-old
all right.
nudes?
He's doing all right for it.
Sure. Good luck to him.
And the odd thing was, you see,
He had a corkscrew penis.
he was just like walking around on a main road in like a
In the bar.
seaside town, and
Right.
yeah, and cars would.
See, that's not nudism, is it? That's mental illness.
Yeah, he's just a bit diff.
Yeah.
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 So
Right.
I tell you, one of your favourite programmes. Isn't one of your favourite programmes just that one with the hot air balloon? And it's
Yeah, you
adventures.
love that, don't
It just
you?
goes. It's like
Oh,
in
you love
Sydney.
that.
Sometimes then he's at a carnival.
His favourite programme when he was little, he used to watch it for hours, was that little girl by a blackboard with two toys.
Yeah.
He used to love
You
that, didn't
enjoyed
you?
that, didn't you?
Right, listen. Here's something else I learnt in the week, and we can use this if you want to give away the Incubus tickets.
Go on.
There's a
Oh, I
program.
must have, there's some tickets to give away later. I'll tell you what it is later. Go on,
Who?
Carl. I don't know. We're going to save it. It's a surprise. Go on, Carl.
Oh, have I ruined it?
No, go on.
Crack
Right.
on, mate. Crack on.
Yeah. There was a program about the body.
Sure.
And what is it, right? Barbie doll. Why couldn't that be real?
Yes.
Play a record, Carl.
I do know the answer. Actually, I have to say.
What do you
Yeah,
mean, why
really.
couldn't it be real?
If the Barbie doll was like a real person,
Right.
it wouldn't work out.
I don't understand the question! If you do, this is what worries me.
I do understand the
Don't
question.
say-
Why do you understand it?
Because it's one of those facts which I've heard in the past, but so therefore, because I know the answer, the question makes sense. But unless you know the answer, the question makes no sense.
Well, of course it doesn't.
That's what's brilliant.
Is it worth using for the tickets, do you think? Is it that good?
It's not a real question, Carl.
I don't
Well,
think
it
it
is.
can count really.
It can't be a real
Why?
question. Well, because it's like one of those things about, a man went into a field and died. Why? You have to ask a question, you go, because his parents didn't know, but, well, I've got a million explanations. Okay, she'd be hollow. Do you know what I mean?
No, he's right, actually. It is too vague. Why don't you give the answer, and then you'll understand what your question meant.
What was the answer?
She'd have to walk around on all fours because.
No, physically, the proportions of Barbie
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
not be replicated on a real human woman, because she just couldn't have those dimensions.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
But that you know what I mean? Yeah. Same goes for Fred Flintstone. Do you know what I mean? His head's half his body. It's a cartoon.
Right.
Don't have a go at Carl. He's the K-Man. People love him.
Sorry.
God,
Have I
you're
gone
going
too
to
far?
alienate yourself.
I'd like some hip hop, Steve.
Just
Seriously.
laying into
I'd
him.
like some hip hop, Steve.
We'll come up with a question. We're giving away some Incubus tickets later. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
It's time for Hip Hop Hooray! This is from
Hooray.
whoa, hey,
Yeah.
whoa. Hey, this is from De La Soul's 2000 album, not
Sure.
the current one. Artificial Intelligence,
Yeah.
Mosaic Thump.
Yeah.
A lot of
They've
people-
changed a bit, haven't
They
they?
have, and a lot of people have dismissed De La Soul, but there's still some tracks you can dig out.
Not as
that are good.
jazzy, but this is a soul tip to this
This
show,
is a
isn't
wonderful track. This is With Me. Play it, Carl.
A live POD or pod,
Absolutely.
as I call them,
Yep.
on XFM 104.9. A bit of rock.
Who are you?
I'm Ricky Gervais.
Steve Merchant here.
Yeah. Carl over there. Now listen, there's a bit of rock there.
Yep.
Takes us into a competition. We
Okay.
got Incubus tickets to give away.
Incubus, you say?
Now, I like Incubus.
Okay.
I mean, for what they are, but, you know, I'm a bit worried about all this crossover, this new metal, and these people coming out that are a bit like Pearl Jam and a bit all this sort of. Oh, I'm not too sure about it. I'm still not convinced, but Incubus have got a bit of style about them. Well, you know the competition we just ran there, the phone in, ask Carl and thing. People were phoning up. One person said, "What do you think about new metal?" Carl just quick as fast went, "I hate it."
Exactly.
And he threw a question right back at them and went, "Do you listen to that in the morning?" She went, "Yeah." He went, "Wow, you see, in the morning I like Ash. In the evening, I might listen to
I think he said Magic FM.
Yeah. But I love the fact that he is now, we've put him on a pedestal. He's happy with his own opinions. Before he was like, don't know. And now he wants to tell the world. He'll be down Hyde Park Corner tomorrow, won't he? And they're going, right, who wants to know what I think about, I don't know,
At 2 o'clock, I will listen to the Human League. At 2:15.
Today at 4:13 I had one apple and listened to Primal Scream.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, you're a great bloke, Carl. We better stop now because, you know,
Yeah.
we're going to make you into the new
There'll
Jones
be
fake
more
if
from
we're not
Carl next.
careful.
But this is a very last question that someone. This is Jim. He's emailed in. He says, "Does Carl think that that Waterworld, Mad Max, Judge Dredd, or similar films present an accurate portrayal of what a post-apocalyptic world might be like?" How do you imagine the world will be, Carl,
I
when
haven't seen
the
any
bomb
of
is
them,
dropped?
so I've got no comment.
You've got no comment?
Okay, let's forget the films. What do you think the world might be like if there was, say, a nuclear war and we had to survive underground for a while till all the, waste went away and we could come up and we could eat fruit again and, it was all weird and we had to start from scratch?
I'd rather die.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
All
Wouldn't
right.
you?
Uh,
Wouldn't you?
Well, supposing it was sort of like, you know, Britain was just like, it was, all the buildings had gone, right, or there was some bit of scavenging, there was like, and we hid underground and we came out, you know, sort of in 10 years' time. Don't keep shaking your head, you know the question. You can go, no, rather die. And it was fine, you lived on tin fruit for a few years, right? Then you had to come up and start again, you had to find other civilizations.
I'd want that thing that, is it Walt Disney had? Sort of...
Cryogenically
put me in a
preserved.
fridge thing and say, look, wake me up when it's all built again. I couldn't be doing with that, walking around with a hard hat on all day.
Yeah, what would you do? Set an alarm clock? You're the only person. What you get in a fridge and leave a note. If you find this, do not disturb till 2012.
You know what I mean?
No, well, yeah, but saying that wasn't. Well, I mean, what would you do first? You'd just come out into the light. It was like, you know, Saxon Britain. There was nothing. You'd have to start again. What would you do? What would you do first?
I'd probably go and see where I live now to see what's left of it.
I know how he thinks. Oh,
Carl, if you were the last man on Earth, right,
Yeah.
and you had to have one other woman with which to start the human race again, right,
Yeah.
and not your girlfriend, who would you start the human race again with? Which person would you want to? Bear in mind, it's not just like the fact that you've got to have kids. They've got to be able to provide something in this world. They've got to be leaders.
And they might be all melted. And
Exactly, so
and
their
like
beauty
just got-
may have-
They've just got one good eye, but now they can tell what you're thinking because
Exactly.
of radiation.
Yeah.
They
do you think, Carl?
they tried to go through a pod, and there was a fish in there for some reason in their Wellington.
I mean, for me, probably.
Now, what would you rather kiss, a mermaid or a unicorn?
Carl, quickly.
Mermaid.
Why?
No, no, I want him to answer my
Because it's
question.
got a lady's face. Okay then. What would you rather kiss, a lady with the body of a fish or the body of a horse?
A fish. Wouldn't you?
This is the best thing to know. It's just like, you know when you call a file a rude word, and then the computer goes, "Do you want to open tits?"
Yeah.
You laugh, because it's like, that's what playing with Carl's
Sure.
like. It's sort of like you input it, and you always get, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
sort of get...
You get more back than you bargained for.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, probably only because I've seen films, that one with that Hannah Darrell or whatever her name is in, and she looks
Yeah.
alright. I've never seen
Hannah
a film
Darrell, yeah.
with a woman with a horse's body. Maybe if I've seen one, I might change my mind if.
Okay,
if it's all right.
can you email us a picture of a woman with a horse's body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Or do they exist?
Anyway,
Do you reckon unicorns exist, Carl?
no.
Let's play another song then, because I think we were going to give away some Incubus tickets. We seem to have got sidetracked.
Okay. Well, I'd like to play my song for the lovers.